Alright, the next story quest is called Reviving the Legacy, given to us by Grahatia, with the archive node right next to us. We're in Azizla in the Hemisphere control area. Here we go. Cutscene. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. Yeah, however much I might look forward to seeing him again, him and everyone, but come, let us be on our way. He talks to the node, does a little couple twists and spins in compliance, and follows him. Look at him, all but running, how sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? He just walked off normally. I know he's happy to see Sid again, but I don't think he was anything weird about it. Thank you. Only a 200. Oh, Revenant's Toll is the fortified castle-looking thing within Mordunna, the zone. So Revenant's Toll, Rising Stones is the, yeah. There we go. 286 to teleport, yes, and I will not use a token or a card or whatever it is. A freebie. And then inside the Rising Stones. I just saw a guy named Danny Tanner. It's called, is it, no, Full House. I was gonna say Step by Step. I think it's Full House, yeah. Which, rest in peace, Bob Saget. I listen to a lot of podcasts, like with comedians running them, and they all say Bob was like an amazing person. Anyway, here's Grahatia inside the Rising Stones. Wonderful news, Mercy. Tataru contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryl? Cutscene. As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Domin allies, the War of Succession rages on and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern is to us is the the third, IIIRD. The third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. We know about Brutus. Brutus? Aren't they the ones who took in Yotsuyu, that's her name, and Asahi, and that's his name. Yotsuyu is the bad girl turned somewhat okay because she bonked her head really, really hard, and Gosetsu took care of her, and then she started to remember who she was and killed her brother Asahi because he was an asshole. This bodes well. That's all I'll say. Back to Kryl. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict, and so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. What I fucking say? Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Lomininsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphino and Y'shtola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us, says Alice. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. which is why we must succeed. Alisay nods. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives, says Tataru. Nods all around. The node follows Graha. Cutscene went black, we're done. We click on the entrance to the Dawn's Respite, where everybody was getting better after on the beds and such. We'll click on this destination marker. Wait, 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 wait. Here's Sid, Biggs, and Wedge. Sid, says Graha, and he jogs in front of him. He walks up. They all are very happy to see him. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternative version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something? What is it? And Graha explains as the camera pans up and then quickly goes to black screen. Now Sid is thinking. Well, well, a treatment for tempering, and for the next step you need to find the password to this Allagan's report. Sorry. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. He does the fist and palm thing. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an Allagan dictionary. Hands it over. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. He talks to Tataru and Biggs and Wedge, like to set up a terminal in this room, I guess. It's kind of what the motions looked like, but who knows. It is indeed set up in this room, not where he was waving his hand, but Biggs is fanning himself as if like sweaty from the work. Ah, looks like it's finished. Let's see. He walks up to it, looks inside of it. It's egg-shaped, but like an upside-down egg. But kind of a little bit more pointy also at the bottom end. Freedom. The password is freedom. Ha! Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady, says Graha. Sorry for that short, loud laughter. Let me get rid of my headshot here, just in case I want to take a screenshot for the video thumbnail. Node, open the report entitled Iconic Corruption, an overview. Password, freedom. Password accepted. Boop. Opening report. I think that, like this, would probably be, yeah, I figured it out. This report seems to provide an overview. This is Owen, who's been projected against a wall or close to a wall as like a hologram. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. He's a brown-haired man, a very pretty man, in a blue kind of robe with some gold and black filigree. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. He's got earrings. He does a clap, and two more holograms appear. White, black, and red robed. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. And from those two other holograms, like these blue orbs emerge from their chest, floating before them. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes, the soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. And there's this miasma of black-purple energy, and then behind them manifests that six-armed, thick, like, male-presenting, muscular, kind of demonic. I think we fought it before. It looks familiar, but it gets the one that you knock it off the platform and it becomes gigantic and like can smash one hand down on like half the platform and swipe it. And I don't remember its name. By way of and it's like behind the two other hologram people, the white, red, and black robed ones that are now turned facing him as the orbs behind them, the blue orbs, are kind of just hovering. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend Sephiroth, there we go, would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. And Sephiroth does like this, like energy balls toward the holograms who are now bathed in this yellow, kind of earthy, yellow and brown kind of roiling light. And those spheres are also now yellow with kind of some brown. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. And another blast of yellow-brown energy comes down to one of the new hologram guys who was yellowish, glowing energy, and it's transformed entirely into kind of like the upper body of Titan, but like more darker obsidian colored and floating as if like it's a genie kind of thing. A djinn, an earth, what's it called? I think it's the Jiao, or the Dao in Dungeons and Dragons. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. And this like dark obsidian genie also has some like blue crystalline kind of properties along the arms and other parts, like patches. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. Only one of them has been transformed, the other just kneels. Oh, and the genie thing has like two black-blue wings, like, that come right out the center of the spine, like below the neck, up, and then out, wing-like after that. It's got bands around bicep and wrist as well that are kind of brass-colored. And also some kind of earth-like tendrils, like roots shooting out the back of it. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. And Sephiroth punches, but disappears when he does so. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. He has looked down to the right, saddened. I subsequently subjected a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. And the hologram winks out. So not even the Alligans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. Ah, yeah. True, yet were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. My options are, if we could only make them remember who they were, or so there's no point in reviving their souls unless we can also restore their sense of self. So there's no point in reviving their souls unless we can also restore their sense of self? He looked shocked for a second. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But you are confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not prove the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. He looks to the node. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct a year's worth of tests within the space of a few days, he says, looking to Sid. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? He thinks for eyes widening. Wait. A password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Yeah, maybe, sure. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology, or some such. They look to each other. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief, says Wedge. Biggs just does a fist and palm and they walk off with Tataru cheering them on. Sid also does a fist and palm thing. Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we have you two to help. Lucky we have you to help, eh? It's just, I think probably Garahati at least saying you two, but maybe me? I don't know. He's looking at me. Quit looking at me. Weird. Wherever I move, his head follows me. Alright. Right. While Garaha, Tia, and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree, says Kryle, and Tataru follows. In that case, I'll trust Mercy and LSA with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel Manufactory in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanalin. The people there will give you what you need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalin. She was talking to me. Oh yeah, LSA was she much around during the Ishgardian times? I don't remember. To Quarthus, Foundation is a 213 gil. Yeah, gil. Teleport. little bit of food after this. Oh, I can't mount Ishgard, you know? But I can take the teleport, like the city teleportation to the Sky Steel Manufactory as talked about. If I remember correctly, we go up. Wait, nope, go this way. I'll jump over these stairs and then around this side. Then in here, where you can learn to be mechanist. Is that what they're called? Yeah, right? Mechanist, I think. Here's from a lot. Oh, I don't miss pronouncing these fucking French names. I'm not a good. I got nothing there. Hang on. You stand in the Sky Steel Manufactory. What is it you require? Hand over the Ironworks promissory note. So you are after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Still can't mount. Damn it. The more I try, the less I want to go. The Astrologicum is the closest telepoint, sadly. Jump. And sprint south. Sky Steel Engineer right here. Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning though, the price has shot up on account of this uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. We're gonna hand over a writ. I'm sorry. So sorry, bud. He looks it over. Well now, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me. Oh, because they're promising to pay it back eventually. Gotcha, okay. That is what a promissory note probably is. He goes on to talk some more. We're not saying anything that I can see. He's got a kind of a gun blade on his back. Or a gun. He could be a machinist, I suppose. Machinist. Our buddies, Lucia and... Fuck, what's the actual...
My friend!
Emmerich.
After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places.
Let's remove headshot because we have actual talking and cutscene. They're accompanied by a big old owlkin.
As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem.
Yep.
To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course.
He just waves. Of course they don't hire a voice actor.
Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find.
Yeah, he evaded us 30 story quests ago? Something like that? I don't know.
I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones.
Briefly.
Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you?
The freaking Vanu is so tall. I forgot how tall they are. He's... Especially with the kind of tall, like the upward curved black horns, two of them, like, yeah, horns is the right word. That come out like from like right above the eye socket is where where the eyebrows would be. The horns protrude out a tiny bit, up, like curving, and then like curving back. But twice as tall as Emmerich with the horns, but maybe like 1.7 times as, no, 1.6, 1.7 times as tall as Emmerich without him.
But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day?
And like humanoid shaped, but owl claws, owl feet, owl face for the most part. All of it. Yeah. We let him know why we're here.
A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed.
If it's...
Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
It's... Even if it's only administrable, like, one at a time, and you can only manufacture enough to administer one... Like, it's something. but it would need to be like en masse to make it really truly worth it. Like, one is still better than none, but
In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
you have to capture, contain as they're trying to beat the crap out of everybody and get back to their primal, and then administer, and then wait. And if you could just set up like a bomb, an EMP kind of thing, you know, that'd be cool. We're on an airship now with several like oak, like the wooden barrels, and someone counting them. Emmerich waves. Lucia, stoic, but still awesome. One of my favorites. And the airship takes off. Wings flapping for some stupid reason. Like balance, maybe? I think I looked up online once like what people thought those wings were for, and it could be stability. They're really thin, like they're like dragonfly thin wings. We are now... Oh shit, is this... Well, there's a lot of machinery, a lot of barrels and crates, and some blue crystals kind of coming out of some crates. Some workers' wedge is setting up some cabling to some of the machinery, and you have like a metal circular base. A lot of these are pretty similar shaped, and like you have some that kind of look like they would contain beer in a brewery, kind of that shape a little bit. Some that are smaller than that, but still somewhat like the same shape as a silo, I guess.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much?
It depends on how much you're carrying, I suppose.
Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Cha. I nod.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it.
Tataru is taking stock. We explained something to him.
Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
Who stands up, turns... Wait, is it the... Oh,
It's been a while, hero.
Nero.
You seem surprised to see me. Lest you
Shades on.
misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering.
Why are you wearing shades while you're working inside with low light? Take them off, you idiot.
But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allegans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
Ever competing.
Ask Jessie. She was the one who hired you. All I know is you're an employee of the Ironworks now, so you'll bloody well earn your keep.
There we go. He sighs. Gotcha.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel not only across dimensions, but through time.
Oh.
Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1.
Wow.
And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Sure, yeah, bud, sure.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin.
Flip the switch. All of these different shaped container unit kind of things turn on, all glowing some various shades of light to kind of mid-blue. like a cerulean blue, obviously.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
He also has a like a terminal that's maybe 6 to 8 feet wide. Just, you know, a bunch of buttons and stuff. You can control panel kind of thing. And then I think it had like 5 hologram screens, rectangular. I only got a brief view of it. 5, yeah. They're kind of purple in color. They can turn yellow at the edges and just kind of, they're changing color. But lots and lots of ceruleum. And the cutscene went black for a second, but now we're back. Myself, Alice, on one couch, barely staying awake. Kryl and Tataru on another couch, barely staying awake. Sid and Graha doing just fine at the terminal. But now we have
Damn
alerts.
it. It's overloading.
Steam is beginning to come out of some of the containers. But
Chief! She won't last much longer!
says Wedge. Panic mode.
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
What can you do?
Oh,
Ice magic? Biggs is panicking. Wedge is panicking.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
There's some bolts of electricity coming off of some of the containers.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you.
And one more
There.
screen pops up before everything starts to just go. But we seem to have data. And now the screen's gone. There were some minor explosions. Some disappointment. Some panic from Tataru. But
I was
Graha-
able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
Sid gives a pumped fist, as does Biggs. Tataru is jumping around in joy. Kryl gives a big thumbs up. Alice gives a pump fist. Wedge approaches the containers.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
He looks dejected.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
I don't think it needs to.
don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at.
I forgot that that's why they wanted the computing power. Okay, yeah.
This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Wedge gives a thumbs up after looking dejected for a little bit. Graha smiles and nods.
Thank you.
Sid nods.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
The rest is up to me, and don't go chasing waterfalls. Sorry. Alice gives a fist and palm. I nod. Cutscene goes black on my beautiful face. I like the little, the line markings I have, kind of like their whiskers underneath my eyes. I think I did pretty good. Whatever this quest is called is done now. I just read it, but I didn't read it, you know what I'm saying? Reviving the Legacy is done. There's going to be a link in the description of this video that will send you to my Google Doc PowerPoint, where every slide on there is an item on Amazon that I recommend. If you purchase any of those items with a link in the description on that slide, I will get a small cut. I will see you next time. I'm going to make some dinner now. Bye-bye.